Oh, sorry, can you keep going? Anything. You're good.
Talk about the sunny day today.
Just say your ABC. Okay, thank you.
Count backwards from 3.
We're good. Thank you.
Just me.
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks
How
for
are you?
doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I got a video.
Which one?
Ours. Could shoot the planet.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Do you have one person?
I have 2.
Okay.
I want to do 2
You want to do do you want to click them all?
Not necessarily. I want to see what they say, see what their vibe looks like, and see what it does.
Okay. 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 So
Tamara. I'm going to do Sullivan. Maybe me.
okay. Right.
No.
Okay.
That she liked.
Kind of locked in that.
Yes, she liked all the video, and then the one thing at the end, she wanted to change the words from like come and find out she was a remote. So.
Right, we had like a few different versions, and that was the one that I
Sure.
just picked. So, yeah, was there just kind of a different phrase, but short and pithy like that?
Let me look at
Okay.
it. Let me find that phrase.
Right.
And then I'll get it to you.
There was one that we had thought we might go with, but then when I put it in, I was like, it doesn't really connect well enough to the question, so maybe if we could change the question, it could have reconnected to the phrase. But what it was, are you all? So I just felt it didn't connect well enough with what does it mean to be a firefighter, you know, so I was kind of like, this doesn't tie back
I'm
well
with you.
enough. So I was like, is there a way that we can set that up at the end with a different
Question in the front.
Yeah, so I was just pondering.
I see where you're going. All right.
But I'll go ahead and set up shoots with those
That's
3.
right. You might be able to catch them here.
I don't have my life.
Got it.
But I'm shooting with Tamara later this year. FMO, right?
No.
Okay, so she's 40 hours. Okay, yeah, so I mean,
That's 40 hours.
Okay.
All right. I want to. So yeah, let's capture them and then let's get this video out.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some info sessions, and I want to set that video out with info sessions. Dates.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
with you
I want to do
video
this
or-
video. No,
or-
just
okay,
underneath.
alongside.
I'll just have to
Okay.
type it in as some text.
All right. Yep.
And then we'll put it on social media that says, you know, come meet some new firefighters at the info sessions. And then I'll have a list below, and I'll have a link to Eventbrite for free signups.
All right. Cool. Yeah,
thank
we
you.
can get these shot by next week.
Great. Thank you.
You got it.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I ask for your silence now as our ceremony is about to begin. The honor guard is lined up, and they'll be posting in the colors. Please pay attention behind you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join in singing our national anthem. Present arms! Oh, fish that you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose blood and bright stars through the perilous fight. Around clubs we watch, whose the gallantly stream, and the rockets that flare, the bombs bursting in air, we cruise through the night, and our flag hey, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Order! Order!
This morning, we are here to honor the more than 3,000 fallen heroes and their families forever impacted on this day 24 years ago on September 11th, 2001. We will never forget. Good morning. My name is Isaac McLennan. I'm the president of the Portland Firefighters Association, IAF Local 43. Today, firefighters across our great state and nation are proudly honoring those impacted on this fateful day. Those who were lost, their families, and those who are fighting ongoing health issues from helping others that dreadful day, and in the days to follow. We firmly believe it is important we all come together as a community, as a nation, to remember and give our deepest respect to everyone we lost in the attacks. We must also honor and grieve the brave souls lost that dreadful day 24 years ago on U.S. soil. I want to acknowledge everyone for coming here today. Brothers and sisters here that are standing on my left, the folks in the media, the community, our elected officials, our city officials, and with us also today is Portland Fire Chief Lauren Johnson. You'll note over here a photo of firefighters Neil Martin, Wes Louts, Dwight Engler, and Ed Hall, who took their personal time immediately following the attacks in 2001 to fly to New York and help their brother firefighters who was stationed near the Twin Towers. With their friend, they searched for others still missing on Ground Zero. The bond between them was not torn apart by those terror attacks, but rather, it grew stronger. I want to give special thanks to firefighters, paramedics, law enforcement on duty right now across this state, across this city, and across our great nation that answers the call whenever there is an emergency. Now, it's my honor to introduce Portland Fire Chief Lauren Johnson.
Thank you, Isaac. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. Today, we gather as a department, as a community, and as a nation to remember one of the darkest days in our history. I expect that just like many of you, I remember so many details about this day 24 years ago. I was at work in Dallas, Texas as a firefighter, and we were gathered around the TV watching news coverage very early in the event. that showed an aerial view of one of the towers burning. One of our officers immediately made reference to the number of firefighters that were surely working their way up the stairwells in those towers, as thousands of people were evacuating down those same stairwells. The way he said it implied that he knew the outcome, and his point was that even in the face of danger, an impossible task, and almost certain death, they were going in anyways, and they were going to do the best they could for as long as they could. Thousands of innocent lives were lost in the attacks that morning. Among them were 343 firefighters, 23 police officers, and 37 Port Authority officers who embodied the very meaning of courage. In the face of unimaginable danger, they ran towards the chaos. Their bravery and sacrifice are forever etched in our hearts. For those of us in the fire service, this loss felt especially personal. For the past several years, though, I'm reminded that many of our firefighters working today were not working 24 years ago. Many in our current workforce were younger children, and some were not even born on that fateful day. On 9/11, our brothers and sisters in New York showed the world what selfless service looks like, and their legacy continues to inspire us. It is our responsibility to tell their story so that future generations will never forget. Here in Portland, we stand in solidarity with New York City, Arlington County, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We stand with every community that carries the weight of that day. We honor not only those who perished, but their survivors and the families whose lives were changed forever. And we remember those still suffering from the long-term health effects tied to Ground Zero, and we extend our enduring gratitude and support. I want to take a moment to recognize those from across the country who went to assist in the aftermath, including our own members here for Portland Fire and Rescue. Their response embodied the very best of who we are as a nation and as a department. I also want to thank our city partners, distinguished guests, the mayor, council members, city administrators, Chief of Police Bob Day. Thank you all for being here. Your support means so much to us today and every day. And I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Portland Firefighters Association Local 43 for your continued commitment to this annual ceremony. Your dedication ensures that we will never forget. As a chief, I have the privilege of leading an incredible team of professionals who serve this city. The legacy of 9/11 lives on in their daily work through every act of service, protection, and care that they provide to the people of Portland. And I want to thank all of Portland Fire and Rescue, those who are here this morning, and those who are working across the city. As we pause in a few minutes for moments of silence this morning, let us reflect not only on what was lost, but also on the resilience that's carried us forward since then. To PF&R and all of those in public service, I am humbled daily by your dedication and your compassion. Out of this tragedy came a reminder that the promise to protect and serve forges a bond among firefighters that spans the globe and has withstood the test of time. Let us continue to honor the memory of the fallen by living those values every day in our stations, in our neighborhoods, and in this city. Thank you for standing with me today, and may we never forget.
Thank you, Chief Johnson. The events of September 11, 2001 will forever be etched in the minds of those who were there and those who remember watching the live broadcasts of those horrific attacks. Myself, I was on duty that day watching from a fire station as in an instant, fellow Americans and firefighters lost their lives. That day will forever remain raw and powerful, those horrific attacks. Sorry. Raw and powerful in so many of our hearts. 24 years ago, the terrorist attack began during the morning hours, East Coast time. At 8:46 a.m., hijackers deliberately crashed American Airlines Flight 11 into floors 93 through 99 of the North Tower. At 9:03 a.m., hijackers deliberately crashed American Airlines Flight 175 into floors 77 through 85 of the South Tower. At 9:37 a.m., hijackers deliberately crashed American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon near Washington, D.C. And then, at 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapsed. At 10:03 a.m., after learning of these attacks, passengers on United Airlines Flight 93 launched a counterattack on the hijackers aboard their plane to try to seize control of the aircraft. In response, the hijackers crashed the plane into an empty field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapsed, leaving the 16-acre World Trade Center site in ruins and collateral damage affecting all adjacent properties and streets. The rescue efforts commenced immediately. Now, please, let's all now share in a moment of silence. Thank you. Today, we thank our firefighters, our brothers and sisters, and volunteers who risk their lives to help others. The brave men and women who were conducting rescue and recovery missions spent months sifting through the debris coated with asbestos and other carcinogens. These exposures have resulted in startlingly high rates of cancer and other diseases among 9/11 responders and survivors. More than 100 health conditions, including forms of cancer and respiratory disease, have been linked to 9/11 related exposures. As of 2024, nearly 400 firefighters who responded to the 9/11 terror attacks have since succumbed to 9/11 related cancer. Tragically, we also know of at least 37,000 first responders and survivors who are suffering from cancers, heart disease, and respiratory diseases, and other health issues related to the toxic pollutants released during the attacks. Experts predict that these adverse health effects and mental health needs will continue for many decades to come. That's why we urge Congress to pass the 9/11 Responder and Survivor Health Funding Correction Act to fulfill the nation's commitment to protecting and honoring those who responded to September 11th terror attacks. The critical care program now faces a looming funding shortfall. Congress must pass this critical legislation to keep this program open and continue to care for those who have helped others during the terrorist attacks on America. On behalf of the Portland Firefighters Association, we made a promise to never forget, and we plan to keep that promise a forever promise. Thank you everyone for attending. Please have a look at the boards before you leave. And now we'll close with the tune from the Portland Firefighter Pipes and Drums Band.
fire boat should be starting across the way here shortly.
Yes, cross, that's what you just said, across the street.